Yo, what's good, all day fam? Welcome back to Reality Sports. All day, no fluff, just my week 3 picks and the real scores and what we learned, and let's get to it. So, I realized I never actually picked this actual score for the Steelers and the Patriots game, but I did pick the Steelers to win that game. But the Steelers, they beat the Patriots 21-14. So it was nothing really that exciting about that game. I think Aaron Rodgers threw for 2 touchdowns, and so that game, like, the Steelers has been looking good at all. DK Metcalf has really been a no-show, but the Steelers just looks terrible. They look like they look bad. They may not even have a winning season if they don't get it together. It's still early in the season. Like I said, teams that are playing bad and early to beat the season, they get better later on. Teams that play really good in the beginning, they play better. They play terrible later on. Some teams do both. So, because they just keep winning and they just win, and then they get better at how they win the games later on down the line. So let's keep moving on though. But the Raiders and the Commanders, I picked the Raiders to beat the Commanders 22-15. The Commanders blew out the Raiders 41-24. I was way off, so that's crazy. So I'm surprised that the big Commanders they had that big of a win gap against the Raiders. But yeah. So Vegas defensive backs got cooked. So Rams, Eagles. I picked the Rams to beat the Eagles 30-27. This was a really, really good game. I was watching some of this game. I want to watch some more of it. I want to actually go back and watch it again because it was just such a great game. But I was wrong. The Rams did not beat the Eagles. They had so many chances to beat the Eagles, and they didn't. But the Eagles beat the Rams 33-26. So I was right on the game script, for it to be as it being a shootout, but I was wrong on the team that was winning. Bengals, Vikings. I picked the Bengals to beat the Vikings 25-24. The Vikings beat the Bengals. They blew out the Bengals 48-10. So I wasn't even close. Minnesota dominated in all phases of this game. Packers, Browns. I picked the Packers to beat the Browns 21-17. The Browns actually beat the Packers 13-10. I knew this was going to be a heavily defensive game. That's why I chose really low, 21-17. Neither offenses are really that high-powered. The Packers has a bit of a better quarterback, obviously, slightly better receivers and better running back, but the Packers' offense isn't like really that much better. But that's why I thought the Packers was going to put up 21 points. But I forgot how great the Browns' defense is, and the Browns they held the Packers to 10 points. It was 13-10. Jordan Love got to get together, man. Jordan Love. He's kind of like in that slump with Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud. It's like I'm almost starting to feel that Jordan Love has hit his peak of how good of a quarterback he's going to be. He's still fairly young, but him and CJ Stroud are kind of like the same quarterbacks to me. And Jaden Daniels, I'm not going to say put Jaden Daniels in that sense of how good he is compared to them. I think Jaden Daniels is better than them, and I think Jaden Daniels can get much better. But they all are kind of like neck to neck in my opinion. But Jets, Buccaneers. I picked the Bucs to beat the Jets 30-10. The Bucs did win 29-27. The Jets offense did much better than what I predicted. So I got the winner right. I mixed the game texture. Jets hung around. They did. The Texans, Jaguars. I picked the Texans to beat the Jaguars 24-21. Surprisingly, the Jaguars beat the Texans 17-10. This is what I'm talking about. So Trevor Lawrence. This game was a very low-scoring game. I can see why this game was a slower-scoring game for Trevor Lawrence in it, because the Texans' defense is hell. But again, C.J. Stroud is struggling bad, playing bad. I don't know. Titans, Colts. So I said the Titans was going to beat the Colts 25-24. I was wrong. Colts is doing their thing. Indiana Jones is doing his thing. Colts are 3-0. They're one of the few teams, one of the 6 teams in the NFL right now that is 3-0, that is undefeated. The Colts, they rolled, and they rolled past the Titans, and they're doing their thing right now. The Colts is looking dominant, to be honest with you. Daniel Jones has revolutionized his career, playing exceptionally well. Shane Steichen, man, I tell you, he's a great coach. Falcons at the Panthers. I was wrong on this game. I said the Falcons was going to beat the Panthers 30-27. The Panthers blew out the Falcons 30-0. It was a shutout. So I massive missed on this side and on both sides and on the margin. But I told you all that the Panthers. I thought the Panthers was going to be good. They could be a dark horse. They can squeeze into the playoffs. And that I like Bryce Young. I like both quarterbacks. I like Bryce Young and I like Michael Penix Jr. But I was not expecting the Falcons to get blown out, and that's bad on Michael Penix end. Now I don't know. I didn't watch this game. I didn't do my research, but I've heard. You all correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that Michael Penix got benched. I think. I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. I had to look it up. But if he did, man, that's terrible. Like, come on. Like, he's still young. He's still young, and he's still going to have some growing pains. He's still learning. I don't think it's necessary to bench him, though. I do understand. I mean, you can't put up any points against the Panthers. It's terrible. All right, so Saints at Seahawks. This game was so lopsided. I wonder why I didn't really choose the Seahawks to blow out the Saints even more than what I picked. I picked this game to be close, and I don't know why. So the Seahawks, I said the Seahawks was going to win 25-19. They blew out the Saints 44-13. So I underestimated the blowout. My boy Sam Darnold is doing his thing, man. He's still playing very well, very great. Cowboys at Bears. So I picked the Bears to win 40-34. I thought this game was going to be a shutout. I knew what the Bears offense was going to do. I knew what Caleb Williams was going to do. I knew what Dallas defense was going to do. But I overestimated. I was right on all cylinders of this game. I overestimated what the Cowboys offense was going to do. They played terrible. The Bears blew out the Cowboys 31-14. Broncos, Chargers. This was a very great game. The Chargers has been playing great games all 3 weeks. All 3 weeks has been divisional opponents. These 3 weeks is probably going to be one of their toughest games, outside of Philly, and I think they have some other opponents. I think they played the Texans and the Commanders, so they got some little tough games coming up in the NFC opponents. But we pretty much capitalized in our division. We are kings of this division right now, so it's awesome. So it's like we're like 4 games ahead because we're 3-0. And we have beat all our divisional opponents early in the season. So this is awesome. All right. And so I said the Chargers are going to beat the Broncos 27-10. They beat the Broncos 23-20. So I'm very upset, though, that the Chargers allowed the Broncos offense to do what they did. There were some bombs that our defense let up. And I'm not happy about that at all. And to be honest with you, if Bo Nix would have capitalized on those balls, on those throws, if he would have connected on those throws, we would have lost. We probably would have lost unless Justin Herbert would have done his, came through for us like he did. Because Justin Herbert is clutch. I mean, I've been telling you all. Now everybody wants to jump on the Justin Herbert bandwagon. I see Acho, he gave a public apology to Justin Herbert. But I've been telling you all for years, for 2-3 years now, that how great of a quarterback Justin Herbert is. And so I kept saying he just doesn't have a coach. Like, Brandon Staley just kept putting Justin Herbert in terrible situations to lose the game. And that throw that Justin Herbert did was wicked. Like, goodness gracious. So I'm really happy where the Chargers are at. This game could have been a blowout if our defense did not let up those big plays, and the game probably would have been lost if Bo Nix would have connected. But I'm happy we got through. We persevered, and I mean, with outside of those big bombs, our defense played lights out. Our defense played phenomenal. We weren't giving Bo Nix nothing. But I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't like how sometimes we give up those big plays. I don't like that. We have to get that together. We got to get that together. So I need Jesse Minter to tighten that defense up because we can't just keep giving up big plays like that. Like, I want our defense to be dominant. If our defense can be dominant like this, Justin Herbert playing like he's playing, John Harbaugh coaching like he's coaching, we're winning the Super Bowl. But our defense I'm not mad for the team scoring. I'm mad of us letting up big plays. I don't like that. Like, and how we let J.K. Dobbins score on us. We let J.K. Dobbins have 2 big plays on us, and then he scores. We can't allow stuff like that. We got to tighten up. We can't get lackadaisical. And I started seeing like the defense started getting a little lackadaisical a little bit. And I didn't like that, but they did tighten up towards the end. But I saw like that they started getting a little lackadaisical, and that's when those big plays was happening, and those potential big plays was happening. So we gotta tighten up, man. That's all I gotta say about that. We got the Giants next week, which should be that should be a dub. That should be an easy win. So, we should be 4-0. I don't even know when the Chargers ever was 4-0. When was the last time the Chargers were 4-0? Let's see here. Let's see. I'm just doing some research. The last time the Chargers started the season 4-0 was 2002. When was the last time? Because I think the last time it was 3-0 was 2001. Yeah, let's see. We're 3-0. And our last quarterback, who we were 3-0 with, was Drew Brees. Ain't that ironic? The last quarterback that we went 3-0 was with the Drew Brees. Oh, okay. So we won another game. Okay, so we went. Okay, so that's the same year. The last year we went 3-0 was 2002. Last time we were 4-0 was 2002 as well. I thought it probably would have been a little further back, or maybe we never went 4-0. I wonder if we were ever 5-0. Let me see. Let's see here. We were winning back in those days. That's when we had Marty Schottenheimer, Drew Brees. The last time the Chargers was 5-0 was 1961, 1994. All right. And that was when we went to the Super Bowl. 1994. Yeah, I think that's when we went to the Super Bowl. Let me see. Let's see here. When was the last time the Chargers went to the Super Bowl? Yeah, 1994. The Chargers, they went 5-0, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl, where they lost to the 49ers. The 1961 Chargers also had a fantastic record. Well, we ended the season 12-2, but that was in the AFL before the Super Bowl era. They didn't make a Super Bowl since the Super Bowl didn't yet exist. Okay, but that was pretty dope though. So the last time the Chargers went 12-0 is when we went to the Super Bowl, was in 1994. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Who's our schedule? Can we go 5-0? Let's see. What's our 2025 schedule? Let's see. What is the Chargers 2025 schedule? We beat Kansas City 27-21, the Raiders 20-9, Broncos 23-20. We got the Giants next, and then we got the Commanders on October the 5th. A home game. If we can get past the Commanders, we can go 5-0. Let's see here, because we definitely should beat the Giants. That's a dub. We definitely should beat the Giants, even though that's an away game. That should be a dub. And then the Commanders, we got the Commanders at home. That should be a dub. And then, well, hold on, that's what I'm talking about. If we can get past the Commanders, we can go 6-0. But we ain't lose to the Dolphins. Yeah, we can be 4-0 to the Giants, 5-0 to the Commanders. We can be 6-0. The Colts is going to be a test. The Vikings is going to be a test. The Colts and the Vikings are going to be tough. We're both at home on those games, but those are going to be tough games. And then we got the Titans. That should be a dub. And then we got the Steelers. That should be a dub. And then we got the Jaguars. That should be a dub. Then we got a bye week. Then we got the Raiders again. That's always tough. Division opponent. And then we got the Philadelphia Eagles, Monday Night Football. That's going to be tough. Both of those games are going to be at home. And then we got the Chiefs away. That's going to be a tough game. It's always tough to play a divisional opponent. And then we got the Cowboys. That's going to be kind of a test, but we should win that game. Then we get the Texans. That's going to be a. The Texans is going to be. How can I put it? That's a rematch. We need to get a redemption on that game. And then we got the Broncos. We end the season away in Denver. Okay. The only games I'm really worried about is the Eagles. The Commanders. And the Colts. Those are the only 3 games I'm actually really worried about. All the other games I'm not really worried about. I think we could sweep the Chiefs, we could sweep the Raiders, we could sweep the Broncos. So, even though those games are going to be hard, they're not going to be a walk in the park. They could be 1-point scoring games, but I think those are going to be easy games for us. But let's move on. My bad. I didn't mean to bore y'all with my Chargers. I just wanted to look into that. But y'all Chargers fans, you're welcome. So let's move on. The Cardinals, 49ers. So I picked the Cardinals to beat the 49ers 2017. I'm always picking the Cardinals to beat the Niners, and they always lose. The 49ers beat the Cardinals by 1 point, 16-15. Chiefs, Giants, Sunday Night Football yesterday. I said the Chiefs was going to beat the Giants 21-19. I was 1 point off with the Chiefs. I said the Chiefs was going to score 21. They put up 22. And I was 10 points off on the Giants. I gave the Giants 10 points of what I said they was going to score. The Giants only put up 9 points. The Chiefs beat the Giants 22-9. So I was pretty solid on that. I have yet this year to hit it on the nose, to be precisely right on the team and be precisely right on the score. I have yet to do that yet. So I gotta get it. All right, so tonight, Monday Night Football, I picked the Ravens to beat the Lions 25-21. So you all make sure to tune in for Monday Night Football, and I'm going to do my Monday Night Football recap tonight. And thank you all so much for watching, and we are going to be back very, very, very soon tonight. All right, take care. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah. All right.